me. This is about each of you that are here today. And I know the struggles to get here, that it's not easy. For the moms, for the dads, people traveling from different states, Bob coming from Mass, it is not easy. But I want to tell you, I truly, from the deepest of my heart, love and believe in each and every one of you where you are right now. Doesn't matter if you signed up yesterday, today, we are all the same. And I believe each and every one of you has the ability to change your life in an instant. Because I remember having a conversation with my wife, Kristen, years back, and seeing this opportunity that can help us get out of the 6 figures of debt that we were in. Like, I literally would sit there and close my eyes, and guys, follow me on this. My vision was so strong, I saw myself there before I was even there. Like, I said to myself, I am on that stage at Summit speaking before I was there. I was at an event that Bob said 9 years ago, watching Carl speak, going, that is me. Not will be, it is me. Vision is powerful. So you have to do me a favor. You cannot leave here the same. You can't. I need your coach to see a person they've never seen before. I need your spouse who may be home watching your kids to see you be a person you've never been before. I need your upline to see a person they haven't been before. Because I'm not here to inspire you, I'm not here to motivate you, I'm here to empower you to change your life. So I have a question for you. Who here is not happy with where they are currently in their business by a show of hands? So guys, I'm here to tell you, you are where you are because of who you are. No, but you may be saying, David, I want to be a diamond coach. I want to be a star diamond. I want to hit Success Club. I want to be in the million club. No, that's what you say with your mouth. That's not who you truly are. You are the actions that you take every single day. Because I remember when I finally clicked and I said, tell me what books I need to read. And I read them. Tell me what skills I needed to develop, and I did it. Tell me what things I needed to do, and I focused forward. But right before that, in an instant, I was waiting for my upline to free me. I was waiting for my coaches or people to do the things and tell me what to do. I was waiting to be freed by that friend or family member to finally give me permission to do it. And I finally realized, guys, they didn't need to free me, I needed to free myself. If we constantly play the victim mentality in our life, we may not know when our last day on earth may be, and you may be held hostage by your own self for the rest of your life. We cannot play that game. I am a product of a coach who quit on an inside leg, who was on his coach's inside leg. I was on an island. So the blame game doesn't work. I want to share some of my story to see where my mindset comes from. And when I was 12 years old, I had the dream of playing the next slide. There we go. I had a dream of playing Major League Baseball. And I played baseball every day of my life. I grew up in Long Island, in New York. And every single day, I would wake up, I'd breathe, eat, sleep, baseball. And I went to my mom and dad, and I said, Mom, Dad, I want to get a batting cage in my backyard, like the one with the net when you go and bat in the pitcher machine. And they said, David, that's a lot of money, and we can't spend a few $1,000s. I know you're 12 years old, but if you want that, you got to save up for it. And I literally wrote this letter to my mom that said, at 12 years old, I, David Atkins, say I can save up for a pitcher machine. I believe in myself. Signed, David Atkins. And little did I know at that time, vision started right there. Little did I know at that time the power of writing something down at 12 years old and what it can do. So I found a way, because when you find your why, you find your way, as John Maxwell says. And I got a newspaper out, and I delivered Newsday 7 days a week at 12 years old. After school every day, instead of maybe playing with my friends, I had the BMX bicycle with the egg crate tied to the front with a rope that was tearing, and I would tie it around and I'd go out there, and I would deliver newspapers every day. And on Sundays, because people wanted the paper early, I would get up early in the morning. There was 100 sections, it seemed like, in the Sunday newspaper. I would pile them all up, I'd stack them, and I'd deliver it. I would deliver the paper in the rain, in the cold, when I was lonely, when it was dark out in the winter months, on that Wednesday night. And then once a week, I'd have to collect the money. There was no Venmo. And I would go to every door, and I would knock. Here to collect. I would be told, come back. I would be told, my mom and dad's not here. I would be paid and not tipped, which I relied on. And little did I know at that point, guys, you need to pay a price if you want to be successful. Life will rain on you. It won't be convenient. You have to do things in the dark. People are going to say no to you. And I was going through the training in my time as a newspaper delivery boy at 12, realizing how that carries over to life today. And after 1 year, I saved up $3,000 and bought this pitching machine that was in my backyard. At 12, with the vision that was there. Where is your vision today? A few years later, living on Long Island, the north end of Long Island is the Long Island Sound, and the southern end is the ocean. And I wanted to do more. I wanted to have another job, and I always had the drive for something that was exciting and thrilling and to help people. And I decided that I wanted to be a lifeguard. And I started off for a couple of years as what they call a stillwater lifeguard, and I lifeguarded on the Long Island Sound. And I knew something was missing at the time, and I'll never forget, one day I was off at the beach on the ocean, and my grandfather was sitting next to me with family, and it was a rough day. And the lifeguards were in and out of the ocean all day. Anybody been to the ocean when it's rough out and the lifeguards are like in and out all day earning their money? Maybe not up here in the Northeast, happens in Long Island. So my grandfather turned to me, I'll never forget it, he's to my right, I'm to his left, and he looked at me and he said, David, those are the real lifeguards. And I was like, whoa. So at that point I said, that's it, I'm going for it. I'm going to become an ocean lifeguard. And I reached out to find out, and I found out the best lifeguards in Long Island, and one of the safest beaches in the country that has never had a drowning was Smith's Point County Park. Those guys were beasts. And I got in touch with the chief, and I said, hey, I want to train with your ocean lifeguards that are like centers of the football team in ridiculous shape. I'm 5'8", 120 pounds, but I want to do it. And he said, David, if you want to do this, you need to come every morning before you go to work and train with my guys. And their training entailed, every morning before the beach opened, we would run 1.5 miles down the beach, in the top of the beach. Like when you go to the beach and you hang out, everybody's running near the water because it's hard and it's easy. No, you get your ass up near the top where the sand is sinking. We run 1.5 miles out, we stop. Then in single file, we run 1.5 miles back, and the guy that's last in line would sprint to the front, and then he would be jogging, and the last guy there would sprint to the front, kind of like a train, and we would piggyback for 1.5 miles. And then we would get back, and then there would be a buoy about, 100 yards off out in the water. And on this end of the beach was a dune that was probably 20 feet high, and you had the whole length of the beach, and they would have to, on the blow of a whistle, swim, get through the waves, go around the buoy in the water, 100 yards back, sprint up the beach, up to the top, up the dune, back down around, and we would do 3 loops. And then the day of work would begin. I did that month after month. And then it came time for the ocean lifeguard test. And all I said to myself is, please, Lord, when I go and take this test, do not have it be rough out. Because the test is about 3.5, 4 hours long of swimming. And I pull into this beach that's out in the Hamptons, and I'm in the car, and I get out in the parking lot, and I just hear the wind, and I'm like, oh my God. And I get there, and the beach looks like this.
Oh my God.
I'm not even kidding. So I check in my scrawny little self. There's about 70-something of us that want to take the test, and what they do is they pair you up with another partner, because you now are the rescuer and the victim throughout the whole test, whether you're going swimming out there and you get rescued by your partner or you reverse. And they give me my number, they take black permanent marker, they write your numbers on your shoulders, you put a swim cap on, and they pair me up with a guy, and they're like, you're paired up with him, and I turn and he looks like, next slide, this guy. Straight up. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. So, the first part of the test, are there any ocean lifeguards in here? No. Yeah? Yes. Okay, so ocean lifeguard. So the first part of the test is the cross-chest carry, right? Cross-chest carry. So the way that is you're lined up and there's 70 of us, so 36 guys next to each other, they blow the whistle, you have to swim out about 100 yards, and as soon as you start swimming out to be rescued, they blow the whistle again, because your partner there's no breaks, the partner's pretty much swimming right behind you, because once you get there, he's gonna carry you in. So I go first, and he's the victim, he gets to blow the whistle, I swim out, I turn Salgi onto his back, and I have him on my hip, and you're doing the side stroke, and you're going all the way in. Then when you get to where the waves are breaking, as you saw, you have to take the person, and you have to put them on your back, and you have to walk with them up the beach, and then you have to get down on one knee, and you put them down, and then you have to get them ready for CPR. And if you drop them or you stop, you're out. Test is over. So some of it's strategy, you're looking at the waves and sets, you get knocked around, and I pick up this guy, I put him up, put him down, we do it, they blow the whistle, now I'm swimming out immediately because he's gonna rescue me. He comes out to me, he gets to the breaker line where the waves are breaking. First wave, boom, he drops me, he grabs me. Second wave, boom, he drops me, he grabs me. Third wave, drops me again, puts his arms up, I quit. Guys, there's something I learned that day. Fear. False evidence appearing real. And I think so often in life, the reason why we aren't doing what we know we're capable of, because we're afraid of what other people think, we're afraid of what we see, we're afraid of what we're going to face, but you don't realize how much you're selling yourself short because of the little voice in your head that is a bunch of garbage. That day, about 8 or 9 people passed out of 70-something, and I was one of the 8 or 9 that passed that day, and ended up working at Smiths Point for years through college as a lifeguard. But if you go by the fear, or whatever you're telling yourself right now, why you can't do what Samantha did, or Shane did, or Bob did, it's a bunch of garbage. You're letting fear get in your way. You know who you need permission from? The person in the mirror. You. That's it. Freshman year of college, I was playing around in the dorms with the concrete rooms and the cinder block. I went to University at Albany, SUNY Albany, and I ended up banging my head like a fool, freshmen do, and I'm lying on the ground, and little did I know at that time I was going to meet my best friend. He came up to me, he got ice, are you okay? And I met David Brinkerhoff, call him Brink, freshman year, first semester. We immediately became great friends. We started hanging out together a lot freshman year. Sophomore year, we ended up becoming roommates together. We both had a desire to get in law enforcement, and also were in the process of becoming EMTs because we both wanted to ride an ambulance together. So we got our EMT certification, and we joined the university's ambulance corps, which was called 5 Quad Volunteer Ambulance Corps. We did that together, and we even went through more training because normally in an ambulance there's 3 people, and we wanted to be able to just do it ourselves and be just the 2 of us so we can go out on Friday nights and ride the ambulance together. Yes, if I did not have girlfriends, people thought we were a couple. Just keeping it real. But we did everything together. We ended up pledging Sammy fraternity together. And then at the time, I started working at Macy's because I had to pay my way through school as my parents are going through a divorce. And I started working in the security department because I wanted to go in law enforcement. I ended up getting Brink a job. He worked with me as well. We continued on, and then we said, hey, let's take the New York State Trooper exam with the state troopers. And we take the exam, and we score a 1/10 of a point apart. Unbelievable. We both got called senior year of college to the Trooper Academy, and on average with the New York State Police, we go through about 3,000 people to get 100 qualified candidates with the state police. And Brink and I both got selected, and we were in the same class. We went through the academy together. We were the best of friends. After we graduated, we met our girlfriends who both became our wives. He was in my wedding party. I was in his wedding party. He was my life. 2006, we planned to go away to the Outer Banks on a family vacation with him and his wife and his daughter, who was just born with Down syndrome, and after his wife almost died in delivery. A couple months before she was born, they said the baby was healthy, and upon delivery, they found out the baby had full Down syndrome, and during delivery, his wife almost died. Everything was shutting down. It was a rocky road, and we planned this trip to go away with our family and his daughter and my daughter at the time. 2006 to 7 was a very rough year for the state troopers in New York. We had about 9 people shot, and a couple troopers were killed. So Dave and I always had a desire to be on the SWAT team together. And I got promoted in 2004 before I had a chance to try out to our detective division investigators, and I was working as an investigator, and Dave made the SWAT team as no surprise. He made the SWAT team, and on April 24th, we had a state trooper saw a gentleman in a Quick Mart, Dairy Mart, outside of his car, shuffling through some papers. The trooper, it got called in, the person was acting very suspicious. The trooper went to speak to him, and little did they know they were coming up to a guy that had a warrant. The trooper didn't know that, and the guy pulled a handgun out and shot the trooper right in the chest. He survived, but this guy fled the area, and a massive manhunt went on. So it's very rural. It was in Margaretville, New York, very rural, and they called our SWAT team to come look for the guy. The day later, I'm at my desk, and we hear another trooper got shot, looking for, I won't name the person. And I'm sitting there, and I pick up my cell phone, and I'm frantically dialing the phone and calling Brink. Brink, it's Dave. I heard one of the MRT guys, this is our mobile response team, MRT guys got shot. Give me a call back. Hang up. Call him again. Brink, it's Dave. One of the guys got shot. What's going on? I know you're there. Call me back. Hang up. As I'm hanging up the second time, right to my right in front of me is my buddy Paul. The phone's ringing. He's like, Dave, your friend Adam's on the phone. I'm like, Adam? He's like, yeah, he said Adam Cobb. I'm like, I went to college with Adam Cobb. So I go, hey, Adam, what's up? Hey, did you hear about the shooting? Yes. I'm trying to call Brink. He's like, Dave. I'm like, what? He goes, it was Brink. April 25th, 2007, I lost my best friend. You can go to the next slide. The one after. Gets me every time. I ended up having to do his eulogy with the governor of New York. We did a police funeral. Thousands of police officers were there. I still, to this day, wear my bracelet that says, in honor and memory of Trooper David Brinkerhoff, end of watch, April 25th, 2007. Crushed me. Still gets me now. Those are one of the hardest days of my life. The picture on the bottom is his wife Barb on the left with their daughter, his mom Karen, who was a second mom of mine, and the picture on the top is thousands of police officers from around the world that were there. The only thing that saved me is that this guy barricaded himself in a house and our SWAT team was in there in a shootout, and my buddy ended up getting shot in the head and killed underneath his helmet that he had on. But during that, when Dave got shot, he shot back and took the bad guy out who's not with us today. So at least I feel he actually got shot, and then to not get into details, twice in the chest before that, and was still in the fight. That's my buddy Brink. Guys, I realized life doesn't always fire a warning shot. Mike just shared it. We live this day every single day as if tomorrow's guaranteed. I lost my best friend in an instant. Mike ended up in surgery in an instant. And so many of us think we're going to be here tomorrow. Jamie Fitzpatrick, another top male coach, I don't know if you guys follow Jamie and Kim, just had a heart attack last Sunday. Healthy guy, around my age. Boom, and next thing you know, Kim is doing CPR on him in their foyer of their house. Why are we waiting as if tomorrow is guaranteed? We will never wake up if there's an abundance of time tomorrow. It doesn't exist. And we'll never wake up with an abundance of money. And that's what I tell the people when I talk to challengers. It's never going to be the perfect time, or the perfect moment, or the perfect opportunity. It's about you creating it. And I remember having a conversation with my wife after this happened, feeling the burnout of just grinding for the business, trying to pay off the $100,000 in debt that we ended up doing in a couple of years. Intern income disclaimer. But in a couple of years, and I remember sitting there going, people would say to me, David, why do you fight so hard? You already make 6 figures in the state police. Why do you fight so hard with this Beachbody business? And it clicked, and that I realized that time, God's gift to us is potential, and our gift back is what we do with it. I realize that there's people out there right now that are looking for my energy, looking for my zeal, looking for my passion. Just like each and every one of you, no matter where you are in this business, new coach to Star Diamond, there are people looking at you that you can change their life. You're playing small. It's time that we come and you step up and lean into what's hard. Because if every decision and choice you make is just about you, at a certain point in life, you're going to hit something that's a lot tougher than you, and you're going to quit because you don't have a driving force for why you do what you do. And money doesn't have to be attached to it. It's about learning to work from the inside out in life and not from the outside in. Because when you work from the inside out in life, you understand your what, you understand your why, and you understand your how. One of the greatest pieces of advice that was ever given to me is, David, whatever you start, you must learn how to finish. And the problem with the world today, and the problem I see even in the network, is if somebody doesn't like a certain person, or they don't like the process, or if it's not what they thought it was, they quit. And the problem with quitting just doesn't affect you. Later on in life, when you have a spouse, or you have a family, or you have kids, it's going to come back to hunt you, because one day it's going to affect them. That's why I say, what you do every single day is bigger than ourselves. My daughter Sadie, who's 11 years old, plays ice hockey. I never played ice hockey in my life. I was a baseball player. And when she was 8, she said, Mom, Dad, I want to play ice hockey. And ice hockey, I play baseball. I don't know anything about hockey. And she goes, no, I want to play ice hockey. She asked us for about almost 2 years, 6 to 8 years old. And we said, all right. We looked out, we were talking, my wife and I were talking. We remember looking out the front window, and we saw her in February dragging a hockey net she got as a birthday gift out, and that was our sign to say we should sign her up. I want to share with you a video that's a few years old, but it puts the message I'm trying to get out to you guys. Because my Sadie today, and I'll share with you, is much further along than where she is right now. Can you hit space? It's not there. Bear with me, I want to play this. This was 3 years ago now.
And I rise up, I rise like the day, I rise up, I rise unafraid, I rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again. And I like the waves, I rise up, in spite of the age, I rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again.
Hustle is when you work really hard and you always go to the first place and you never stop, even if you're in last place. So just keep pushing yourself. To never give up.
And why do we never give up?
Because we're in Atkins.
All we need is hope, and for that we have each other, and for that we have each other. And we will rise,
So that's my daughter 3 years ago, and I can tell you today she's one of the only girls on the boys team. She plays travel on the ice 5 days a week. She also was selected, she's on an all-girls travel team. We had one game last night, 2 games tomorrow, and she can skate circles around herself now backwards from 3 years ago. My wife's like, you need to update that video. I'm like, the message is the same. And the message is, your kids watch you. And starting and stopping and starting and stopping. You think you're fooling yourself? You're fooling those closest to you. And on top of that, for yourself, if your last name and your name's on something, honor that. Take pride in what you do. 2 years ago, guys, 2 years ago, I was going through a real rough patch. I was going from lieutenant to captain, transitioning, training, my new lieutenant coming in an undercover unit. My wife was at Brenda Bouchard's High Performance Academy training. I had 3 daughters. I got a call from the school that Sadie broke her forearm. Everything seemed to be caving down. You ever have days like that? But I felt it building up because the business, like some people, how do you manage both, and keep up? I was caving in to the point like I felt anxiety, and I literally was like in the bathroom like I'm gonna dry heave. And that Q word of quitting at some point 2 years ago started going through my head. I'm human. It did. And then it hit me. I invested too much to quit. I made too many sacrifices in my life to give up. The stars shine brightest in the darkest moments. When it is so dark outside, you go outside and you see some of the brightest stars. So when life happens, I butt back. When life happens to you, I need you to butt back. And treat each day with gratitude and love in your heart. And I promise my wife, I am going to work just as hard on myself when I was going through mental struggles as I did in the business and 12 years old delivering newspapers. I will make the adjustments. Every single day, meditation's part of my life. I don't look at my phone because when I'm right up here, I can be the best version of myself for all of you and those closest to me. And I realized I had one thing over anything else or anybody else at this time, and that was sweat equity. I will never let a situation or circumstance define my life. See, some people need things to be motivated. I just need life and fresh air. My friend lost his life. Mike is fighting for his life. See, some people will say, Dave, what business are we in? Some people will say, David, you're a motivational speaker, inspirational. We're in the people's business. Don't ever take that for granted. Because I can tell you right now, there are people in this room with Mike, if he was to lift his shirt, that are wounded. And you can see those wounds. But there are people sitting at these tables right now who are wounded, and you can't see it. There are people that you don't know that are one conversation away from any of you changing and altering their life. They don't know rank. All they know is you have the ability to do that through one conversation. Don't ever undermine yourself where you are. When we leave here and go out here, we're all the same. We're all the same right now. Take pride in that. We're in the people's business. And there are people wounded that you can't see that are dealing with some stuff. And I'm going to finish with this. The movie Planet of the Apes, there was a scene at the end where Caesar's trying to get control of all his guys, and they're going crazy and they're going wild, and he picks up a piece of straw, one silly piece of straw, and he takes it and he breaks it. And then he goes and he picks up a handful of straw and he holds it and he braces it and it doesn't break. And he was saying, alone, weak. Together, we can change the world. We are Team Beachbody. Take pride in the impact that we can make. Take pride that you can change somebody mentally, physically, and spiritually. I'm Team Perseverance. I'm Team Beachbody. I'm always pouring into people. Because help people first. It will come back to you. Serve with the servant's heart. It will come back to you. Don't give up. Lean into the fear. Lean into the hard. Realize there's tolls in life you pay along the way. Without struggle, there is no progress. And if it was easy, everybody would be doing it. Easy doesn't get you to where you want to go. Hard does. That's my time, guys. Thank you.